eyes hear the sound of time, stories weaving words that climb, whispered tales in a cozy nook. Welcome to the magic of every book. Bookshelf Babble, take the stage, turn the chapter, fill the page. Laughter, wisdom, stories to spare, a podcast world where books are everywhere. From paperbacks to leather spines, mysteries, thrillers, and classic lines. Stories crackle, voices ring, dive on in, it's a podcast thing. Adventures waiting just one word away, from Austen's romance to Hemingway. Gather round, it's the bookish delight, unfold the tales under podcast light.
Hey, hello, and you're welcome in Bookshelf Babble live session. Here we talk about books and all related to books topics. Sometimes we switch to topics what not related for book, but just as our conversation flow. It depends on the people who join to our talk. Yeah, sometimes we just talk about book. It's depend. Okay, you're welcome, and your host Henny. I'm your host here today, and yeah, let's go to talk. As a regular, we go to Hello Talk application. If you're not familiar with this platform, it's a platform where people around the world learn languages, and I like it because very simple can create the voice room. I just want to start one now, and my voice room has name what book are you reading, and let's go start. Say hello. I try to say, and just wait when someone joined to us to talk here. Yeah, it's required sometimes when someone join, but in this moment I just maybe mention that I'm streaming this session. Just second, I need to find my link. Okay, and yeah, okay, I just think that I'm streaming on Twitch this session, just for inform people about this. Okay, I'm ready, and just wait when someone join to us to talk about book. If it's about me, I'm still reading Ursula Le Guin's Earthsea Quartet. It's a fantasy series what written in 70s of 20th century. It's very nice book, I like it, and yeah, I'm still reading this book, but last several days it's so very busy. I don't have time to read a lot, just some several pages. Yeah, but if it's about my current status, I just read this book. And also I start read book that has name For Bread Alone too, just some several pages, because I like to pick up this book for next reading, but I don't want to wait when I complete Ursula Le Guin. I just want to read in the same time. Yeah, I think sometimes it's not so very good strategy, because you spread between like 2-3 books and sometimes you lose the focus. Yeah, but sometimes it's more complicated just to read one book, because every time you want to read something more, yeah, I don't know. I have the experience when I just like to read one per time. The same times, most of the time I read like 1, 2 or 3 books in the time. Sometimes I not complete it. I think it's not like a problem, especially if you non-fiction book. It's not like necessary to read from one like from first page to last. Yeah, it's just maybe more critical for novels. Yeah, it's some shortly about me. Okay, let's go. Hello, you're welcome. If you want to talk about books, just raise your hand and I will add you to conversation here. If you want to just stay and listen, it's not like a problem. But first of all, it will be interesting to know what book are you reading in current moment. Yeah, it will be nice if you share here. And also, okay, no worries. Just can, if you want to, you can chat here. If you want, not listen. If you want to watch, just follow the link what I sent above. I am streaming this session on Twitch. You can just watch the later video version of this session if you want. If you know about my current status, I'm reading Ursula Le Guin, The Earth Sea. It's fantasy. It's a very nice fantasy. I like it. Yeah, I just fixed one small scene and I will show you the cover of this book. Yeah, the Earth Sea Quartet, and yeah, I read the first book. I complete like around like 100 pages, and I very like it because it's very nice style, very very well written, and I think it's very good like to speed of story and action, not like very spread, not very quick, just very like very comfortable like to speed of the story, and all chapters look like to some like one separate story. Yeah, and especially when I just start reading, I have some I see some several moments when they describe how the main character of first book like to pass some island where they like to school of mags present, and description of this school it's very similar to description of like to some kind of Hogwarts, and it's contain a lot of like some similarity, but this book was written like 60 years ago. In other words, I think it's Joanne Rowling you like to use this book like to for sources of inspiration. Okay, Power of Positive Thinking. I'm not reading this book. I just try to find information about this book. Norman Vincent Peale, if you correctly pronounce this name. It has like a very high rating in Goodreads. Do you read this book? Okay, and especially if you know about this kind of book, what like to describe about how be like more better, how grows, how develop itself. I have just like one question. Is it influence this book influence on you, and you change something in your life after reading? Yeah, I think it's some good, good point. It's very important to think positive, because it's just some kind of self setup what help to move in correct direction. When you think positive, especially in a bad situation, you can just still alive and find the solution. Yeah, but okay, I found it's some kind of some old books. It's just published in first time published in middle of 20th century. In other words, it just to more focus it on to real to people behavior, not at some kind of modern trends, gadget or technologies. It's just about pure human behavior. Yeah, okay, it sounds interesting. I just added to my to my reading list. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not sure word is some too negative. They contain a lot of to different scene. Yeah, and some kind of scene is has different meaning from different point of view. From one person, one scene possible to negative, and as it will be to normal to behavior. Yeah. But thinking is positive. I think it's some very important. Yeah, because it's some kind of self instruction, and yeah, if you think positive things happen with you. Yeah, because to thinking attract some specific, I don't know, events. Yeah. Okay, in this case, from my side, I can just, I don't know, recommend or share with you a book what surprised me, and I was very happy to read this book, and I try to use some principle from this book. Maybe you heard, this book has name Atomic Habits, and how to manage habits, how make the habits, how use the habits to reach the goals. Yeah, I think it's yeah, I very like it. Yeah, I just thinking about positive moments. Yeah, it's positive moments exist everywhere, and especially if it exists an ordinary day. It's look too gray and too typical as the previous day, but you should be try to find some positive moments in this day, and some elements or action what to drive you. Yeah, I agree. It's not too easy to build positive habits, but it's a long process. Another habits is what happiness like to in for periodical way and for long distance, and it's complicated to do the habits from like to immediately from Monday, from like to 1st January. You should be like to establish habits like to step by step, by small like to improvement or small like to increase. And also it's very important to make some, I don't know, some small gifts and some motivation what like to make habits more sustainable. Because if you try to do something what not drive you, it's some kind of torture, it's not habits. But if you be like smart, you possible do some like complicated habits with some positive scene, and every day in these like positive elements like to drive your like to maybe more boring habits. And all this like technique or tricks is described in this book, but I not like to more focus it on this. When I read this book, I just like to wonder it by main idea what behind of this book, and its habits is some very powerful. Another small scene, but if you this small scene you do like to every day and every day and long period of time, it's on the long distance you have a very good progress. And this is very important to establish some kind of habits if you want to reach some big goals, especially if you talk about I don't know, self-development or some project, or for example if you want to be more confident in like to in speaking, you just like to, for example, use hello talk for every day, and on the long distance you have a good progress. Yeah, and this idea I like to pick it up from this book, and I try to use this in my life in the current moment. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's change. I just try to I not establish a lot of like new habits, but last year I like to more focus it on like to learn English, and I just set up some kind of habits related to English, and it's handling on the voice room here and hello talk. It's one of the habits, and I try to do this every day. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's bad habits, because I can just share one idea what I found from my university years. I have some several like to experience when I not like to sleep whole night, or just like to learn whole night before exam, or I don't know, maybe playing computer game whole night and after go to university, and I feel very bad in next day, and after this day I just sleep well and I feel very different like to emotion. And I decided from for yourself like to person who sleep well is like to is happy person. And I think it's like to sleeping is very important, especially when you stay more like to more older. Like to sleeping well is very important, and it's very it has very big impact on your emotional state for next day. And if you want to be like to, I don't know, happy, more productive, just like to more feel more comfortable, you should be like to manage well how you sleep. Yeah, and I think staying in late night, it's some very bad habits. You just try to change this behavior. I think it's electronic gadgets is one of the key reason why you stay like too late, because it's like a mobile phone, computer, or something other interrupt like your read. Yeah, but sleeping well, it's very, very important. Maybe when you are younger, you not like to feel this because you have like a lot of energy, your body will possible like to adapt, and you not see this like a difference, like a big difference. But in reality, has very like a strong influence on your emotional state. Yeah, I think is overthinking is some big, no big problems, and it's very often is drive us in indirect way, in indirect like to direction. Yeah, especially when we worry of some kind of, I don't know, behavior or some kind of action about what we do or some other stuff. I have like one suggestion how it's possible solve this problem. Very often, if you cannot like to sleep well, if you like to spend a lot of time just like to thinking after when you close the eyes or go to bed, it's mean at signals you have a lot of energy, because maybe you're not so active during the day. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you eat very well and many energy and sugar in your blood, and this case it's like to running in the evening is some very good exercise when you like to tide your body. And after this, if you not like to touch your phone and not spend like several hours on the phone, you should be have a good health sleeping. Yeah, I think it's like to running in the evening, it's very good exercise. Yeah, and especially if you like to sing when you run, it's very good like to, I don't know, meditation exercise. When you run, you very often like just think about some events what happened during the day, or some I don't know, some ideas what you have in your brain. Yeah, I like to run. It's I have a break with running around like a year, but I started maybe last month running, and I just enjoy this process. Today I'm not running because it's like raining outside. Yeah, and running it's like to just have positive moments. You keep your body in the shape, you like to train your body, and you have a time to sink in. And at the same time, I like to listen like to podcasts, English podcasts during the running, and like a good practice for listening to get the new information and think about like to my coming day. Yeah, or just plan some like future activities. Yeah, it's walking is good too, but running is more like to more challenging you. And also when you run, you possibly just like to compare itself, how you ran previous day. Just try to listen to your body, because when you run and your body try to start to react. Sometimes when you're tired, your body just signal you, okay, I cannot run more, just like to decrease the temp. Or about the situation, you feel like well and you run on maybe on a record today because you train. Okay. I'm not sure like to your context in your country and your area where you live in, but if you talk about me, for example, I'm living in Sweden now, in Stockholm, and I very like it, this place and these people, because when you run, I just like to run around like to 5 kilometers every day. If I count around like to 20 people just run too. It depends time. If you evening, it's like to prime time when the people running, it's a lot of people run, and it's work like to I don't know, it's work like to advertisement for another people. Okay, and other people see these like woman run, they has like nice outfit, and it just motivates another people run. Yeah, I think here and in my places, it's you not will be look like too crazy. It's maybe you look crazy because you're not running, or just like to maybe stay and smoking or drink beer. And in this case, you should be look like too crazy when all the other people are running around you. Yeah, but in the same time, it's some good challenge for you to run. If you're not nowhere, no one running in your place, you can just start run and just like to do something what another expected, just do your own way. And because it's some important what you do and what you want, not just like to what another think. And one additional moment with running, it's some very important to make like to running comfortable. You just like to use some comfortable dress, comfortable like to, I don't know, sneakers and shoes for this, and just go run and just don't think about around people. Yeah, it's just some kind of challenge for person to be a person, to be a real person, because every person is like too unique, and they has ability to do what he want or she want. Yeah, I have like experience go to workout, but I not feel it. It's my like to kind of exercises, because when you go to workout and gym to work out, you expect it. Okay, I want to get like a good body and like to beautiful body, but in reality, to make the beautiful body, you should be established like to walking in gym, like to work and work as hard and just focus on your body and do a lot of stuff and focus in the food, all and other stuff, if you want to reach some pretty body. But in reality, if you just go, I don't know, 1 or 2 times per week, you just, I don't know, keep your body in some kind of stance and shape. It's all. No more. You should be just like to hard working if you want to reach something like to bigger. But I think it's not my like to target. And yeah, I not feel comfortable with gym. Yeah, I think gym is not my my way to keep in fit. Okay, I think it is time to wrap up for today. Yeah. Yeah, and just like to one like to one my thought about like to keeping good physical shape. I don't know, it's maybe my physical like to ability. I should be do a lot of stuff to reach some like to, I don't know, like to beautiful body, whatnot, shy to show on the beach. And you should spend a lot of energy for this. And yeah, it's not like my way. For me, it's more interesting to run more long distance, run more faster, and maybe run more long distance, like to half of marathon or like to marathon. My colleague in the work just ran ultra marathon around like 100 kilometers some several days ago, and this is more inspired me. Because it's this running on this long distance, it's not because you have like a very nice body, you have like a very like to strength body, you possible reach more long distances, more hard targets. Yeah, it's slightly different than target for gym. Yeah, and this is like for me, it's personally for more interesting. Okay, I think yeah, I not like to do some hard work like to building or construction or something like this. I work as software developer, and most of the time I just sit around the computer. Yeah, in this case it's I think running and change activity is some very suitable for me, because most of the time I just like to sit and thinking, and when I run I just like to recharge. Yeah, but I know from my friends who work on the on building, on like to constructor, they very often like to just tired after work and they don't have any energy, just go to gym, just like to lie in the sofa, it's rest. Yeah, and I understand it's not like suitable to do some additional exercise when you exhausted. Exhausted. Okay guys, thanks for listening. It's like time for wrap up, and if you want to listen and to talk next time, just follow me, and I try to be here and on the regular base, and yeah, and just follow, and you get like to notation about when I start the voice room. If you want to watch this live session, previous talk, you can like to go to Twitch and watch like to live session. Thank for your time, thank for interesting conversation, and take care and see you next time. Thanks for this and goodbye. I just do some stuff and I will close this voice room. Goodbye. Okay, it was some kind of my monologue. I just like to talk and answer the questions in the chat. Okay, but I think I enjoy this format too, because I just like to share my thoughts about some different topics. Today we talk about like to habits and exercises and running. I like to run it, especially last month. I just like to focus in the running, and I really enjoy it. I recommend it to run. It's very good activity because you can do run, you can think, you can listen at the same time, and you can challenge you because you think about how run more better and more long distance, or if you run like more distance than previous day, it's just like to challenge. Okay, I can reach this distance or not. I think it's not more about books today, but just about some kind of hobby. Thank for your time. Don't forget to follow and subscribe where you watch this session. Don't feel free to put the like if you like, or write some comment and some word of feedback. It's very important because it's some kind of fuel to do this stuff for future. Okay, thanks for your time and take care.
Flip the pages, hear the sound of time. Stories weaving words that climb. Whispered tales in a cozy nook. Welcome to the magic of every book. Bookshelf Babble, take the stage. Turn the chapter, fill the page. Laughter, wisdom, stories to spare. A podcast world where books are everywhere. From paperbacks to leather spines, mysteries, thrillers, and classic lines. Stories crackle, voices ring. Dive on in, it's a podcast thing. Adventures waiting just one word away. From Austen's romance to Hemingway. Gather round, it's the bookish delight. Unfold the tales under podcast light.